So thank you for taking an interest to be able to handle more listings. I'm going to show you an awesome strategy in how to list 5 properties in 5 days. In fact, if you stick to this, you'll list a whole lot more than 5 properties in 5 days. I'm Ryan Thompson, performance coach, helping agents reach their full potential and live extraordinary lives. So let's get into it. The first strategy is called Catch It Before It Falls letter. So you might remember the old days when there used to be the old net worth letter, when we put letters out in an area the night before we door knocked, and the letter pretty much stated that if they were interested to find out what their net asset value was, you would be in the area the very next night and you'd be able to do an on-the-spot appraisal and let them know exactly what the property is worth. So what I've created is a Catch It Before It Falls letter, which is along the same lines, but what you're going to need to do is do 60 letterbox drops to the area, your chosen area, 60 homes, and the letter's pretty much going to say, I'm going to be in the area tomorrow doing on-the-spot appraisals, and I want to be telling you, 3 things that you might want to know. So first of all, you might want to find out what your property's worth to update the insurance policies accordingly, or find out exactly how much you've lost because the market is in a downturn, or you might want to catch it before it falls any further, meaning you might want to get your property sold before you lose any more money. Now, in a downturn market, which I know is happening around the country in a lot of areas, this is going to be a really good wake-up call for those who are thinking of selling in perhaps the next 6 to 12 plus months, and they will definitely bring it forward. So how do you do that? Do the 60 letterbox drops the night before, and over the next 3 days, all you need to do is 20 door knocks per day between kind of 6 and 7. Now you'll be very surprised how many people open the door, they're ready and waiting for you to do your on-the-spot appraisal. Of course, you would just need to download all the recent sales in the area and you'll be able to give them an indicative of what the probable selling price is, perhaps within $10,000 or $20,000. But what will surface to the top are those who are genuinely thinking of selling. So just this one strategy alone, with 60, I reckon you'll probably get between 2 and 3 people who are thinking of selling, who will now bring it forward, and you'll most likely list those properties in the next few weeks. So I've got the letter that I want to share with you. You might just need to tailor make it to suit your area. But I'm going to attach it to this email so you can use it and abuse it as much as possible. So that's the Catch It Before It Falls strategy. So the second part of my 5-part strategy is called Guerrilla Email Campaign. Now this is kind of what you guys have responded to, where you can email a simple email, not a templated email, to your database or community, as I like to call it, and simple, just saying, hi, if I had a buyer that would pay a premium for your property, would you consider selling? Now, it's a simple question which is going to get them to obviously be very thought-provoking on whether they are interested in selling, and if they did get a premium, would they respond? So what will happen is you should get a few people emailing you back saying, well, yeah, if I got a premium, I could think of selling. And then what you would do is respond by sending another email or a video similar to this, just explaining that you've got buyers ready and waiting to buy, and what you would like to do is put them into a competitive environment with other buyers that are in the marketplace at the moment, perhaps buyers who are wanting to pay below market value, and create a competitive environment to drive the price up. So that's just one idea that you can send them back with a second email, with obviously a footnote saying the best way to explain this to you would be for me to pop by and talk to you about the buyers that I have already wanting to buy and how we can get them competing to get you a premium for your property. So we call that guerrilla email campaigns. Very, very effective and a wonderful way. So how you would do that is use your Outlook. Don't use your header and footer. It's just an Outlook email, or there is a software based called Mailshake, which works very, very well as well. You also wouldn't send out thousands of emails, so it would be targeted 50 to 100 at a time, and you would respond to those accordingly. So some emails back, you'll need to respond in different ways, but you will have some standardized emails as well. But a wonderful way to interact with your community or your database, and you will be amazed at how many people you will find who are thinking of selling. And this strategy alone, if you've got 1,000 people on your database, I believe that you would get, if you did 100 at a time, I reckon you'd probably get 1 to 2 who are thinking of selling out of each one. So there alone is 10 to 20 listings for your pipeline over the next 3 to 6 months, and you'll probably find that you'll get probably 2 or 3 pretty much instantly that you can book in appraisals or presentations to over the next few weeks. So there's another 2 or 3 instant appraisals or listings for you straight away. So the third step is a little trick called the 5-year itch phone call. Now, what you want to do here is call 100 targeted buyers who have bought properties from you around 5 years ago. So it can be 4 or 6, but around 4 to 6 years ago, you call all the buyers who bought properties for you, and you just say to them, look, I know it's a long shot, but have you heard of the 5-year itch? Now, yes, there's a 7-year itch, but there's no rules in this business. You can make them up as you go. So the 5-year itch, actually, people are becoming more transient these days, and they are seeming to stay in their homes a lot less because people like to move around. So we're finding that 5 years there's a lot more movement as opposed to the old-fashioned 7-year itch. So you'll say to them, look, I know it's a long shot, but have you heard of the 5-year itch, where people who have been in their homes for around about the 5-year mark, they kind of get the itch to have a bit of a change or maybe move for other reasons. Now, I know it's a long shot, and it's great chatting to you again, but had you given any thought to perhaps selling in the near future? There's a lot of positive reasons why now is a great time to sell, and of course those can be the you've got lots of buyers. It's a great time of year before the summer selling season comes in, or perhaps the properties are losing a lot of value. So if they were thinking of selling in the near future, now might be the opportunistic time so they don't lose a great deal of money. So it's a great way. Of course, we know that phone calls is a huge way to get business. Now, if you call 100 people and speak to 100 people or thereabouts, the rule of thumb is that 3 to 5% of of owners are in real estate mode at any given time. That means 3 to 5 out of 100 people are actually thinking of doing something anyway. So using those numbers, you should be able to get between 3 and 5 people who are actually thinking of selling and who would consider listing their property with you right now. Now, you'll probably get a lot more opportunities. You might get around 10 to 12 perhaps appraisals or appointments, which will just create your pipeline to help you get listings in the future. But you should get at least 1 or 2 listings right now. So there, I think our tally so far, we're up to about 6 or 7 listings in day 3 of this 5 listings in 5 days so far. So again, you don't have to make the 100 phone calls in one foul swoop. I know that's difficult, or it can be tough. So break it up over your 5 days, or I would say 4 days, because I've got something special for the 5th day for you. So the 4 days, you just do 25 phone calls, 25 connects per day for the 4 days, and that'll make it easy for you to reach your 100. Now, the 4th part of the strategy is one that I just absolutely love, and some of my clients have literally built million-dollar businesses in such short period of times using this very one strategy, and it's called invitations. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to invite 1,000 neighbors to one of your best listings at the moment, and I want you to call it a home open party. And what I'd like you to do is either invest yourself or get your sellers to invest, obviously as a priority. Have a baristed coffee van, have some cupcakes or some macaroons or something that you can give buyers, okay? And on your invitations, make it a square, not a DL, please. Make it a square invitation and have a picture of the cupcake, the baristed coffee, and just a simple invitation that the sellers have asked them to come and join you at the home open, make it an hour home open, and they'll receive a baristed coffee and a cupcake. You will be amazed at how many people turn up if they have a reason to attend. Now, we say that reasons are the fuel in the furnace of achievement, meaning people respond if they get rewarded or if there's a reason for them to attend. And of course, when they do attend and you give them a baristed coffee or a cupcake, what you're going to do is invoke that wonderful thing called the law of reciprocity, and they will tell you everything that you need to know, obviously about what they thought of the property, the price, and perhaps whether they're thinking of selling or not. You know, the funny thing is that people who respond to home open invitations are generally people who are possibly thinking of selling in the near future. That's just the way it is. If you're thinking about real estate, all of a sudden something pops in, it takes your interest. So out of 1,000 invitations, you will be amazed. You should get between 10 and 15 people attend that home open. Now, those are people you can hopefully one day serve their real estate needs, but out of that 10 to 15, you will most likely bump into 1, 2, or even 3 people who are looking to sell their property in the near future. And I would be very surprised if you didn't get 1 or 2 appraisals that eventuate in a listing or 2 in the next few weeks. So there's a great way, of course, to get as many people through your home open and get more opportunities for listings. The last one, and again, very, very exciting. Nobody does this. This is awesome, okay, is a text message. Now, yes, you don't want to be blanketing text messages out to people who barely know you or who don't know you at all. It's a sure way to lose trust. But who are the people who wouldn't mind getting a text message from you? Well, the people who wouldn't mind getting a text message from are friends, family friends, your past buyers and past sellers, people that you've got a relationship with and who like you because you've done a transaction with them. And all you've got to do, now that should be approximately 100 people. For some of you, it's going to be a few hundred. For some of you, it might be 50 or 60. But we call this your sphere of influence, or perhaps your A-type clients, okay? And it's a simple text message just saying, "Hi, Anton. I know it's a long shot, but do you know anybody who's thinking of selling at the moment? I've got some really hot buyers. If you refer me someone, I'll shout you a weekend away. Great, to say hi to you, Ryan." And that's as simple as what it is. It's a friendly text to your sphere of influence, people who know you, and just saying, "Hey, do you know anybody thinking of selling?" Well, the reality is we're asking them whether they're thinking of selling, because if they, indirectly we're saying, "Do you know anybody?" But in most cases, they're going to go back and say, "You won't believe it. We're thinking of, moving down to the ocean," or whatever the case may be. So this is a golden one. Nobody does it. And without a doubt, out of your 100 text messages that you send out, send them from your mobile. Don't send them from the office CRM. Send it from your mobile. Do 20 per day over the 5 days, or perhaps 25 over the 4 days, and watch the magic roll in. I reckon you'll probably get a few referrals, and you probably will get anywhere between 2 or 3 people saying, "Yeah, well, we're actually thinking of making it. It's great and really timely that you send us that text." Guys, there's no easy way, but I've given you 5 strategies or 5-part strategies to get 5 listings in 5 days. And I'm not joking. I almost guarantee you that if you do these things, even half as well as what I've told you, you will list 5 properties in 5 days, without a doubt. But you have to do something. You might do parts thereof, but it's something that will get things happening. If you can handle more listings, you need to be out there doing this. Now, you might not do this every week. You might do this once a month for 5 months. And I guarantee you will go from, where you are now to doubling, tripling, and quadrupling. Some of the clients I'm working with have 50, 60 listings. I've got one client I spoke to yesterday. She's got 160 listings, and we've helped her get that. So guys, attached is a step-by-step guide to what you're doing in the week and how to get all this done. It might seem overwhelming, just those 5 strategies, but it's actually very, very simple. We've broken it down for you. And you know what we've even done? We've given you Friday off. So have Friday off, guys. I loved Fridays off, and I still have a Friday off. It's absolutely wonderful. So click or look at the attachment, and it just breaks it down very easy on what you have to do and how to do it. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. This is all free from me to you. I hope it helps. And stay tuned. I'll give you some more stuff. Good luck, guys.